What's good, people? Rasati out here in Singapore, and as always, thank you so much for joining me on the Night Out podcast, you guys. Grateful, really, really grateful. I've been looking at the stats a little bit, and yeah, I'm picking up a little bit more of an audience out in Spain, of all places. That's really cool, and in Russia as well. Really, really grateful. And for those of you who don't know, I am looking to hit 1,000 episodes by the end of this year. And yeah, I've got a long ways to go, y'all. It's just September, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to put in the work. So I show up every day. I try to make sure that, the content is, I can't say legible. I can't say audible. What do I want to say? Like understandable, maybe? Because I want to make sure that whatever it is that I'm saying is succinct enough for you to pick up, for you to be able to apply, for you to be able to like catch my vibe a little bit so that you can understand how it applies in your life. So that's the whole process here. I take bits and pieces from my life in the current moment, like stuff that I've posted online, movies I've watched, conversations I've had, music I've listened to, lyrics that kind of hit me, all of that. I bring all of that together and I try my best to explain what it is that I see about the world. And in those bits and pieces, I feel like maybe this is a way that you can find answers, right? It's not really scripted. There is no like how to do this and the 5 steps that follow. It's not like that at all. It's almost like you're just following my thought pattern for a little while. You get access into my brain for a little while. And so I feel like I need to be very clear on the things that I'm saying so that you are able to follow along fairly easily. So today, I was like I've been doing the last couple of times. I've been going back through some of my older podcasts, and this time it was like the last 2, right? The first one was about processing pain. The other one was about my pain process. And so this time I want to talk to you about something that came up in the pain process episode. I was talking about chasing, because when you're jealous of something and you're trying really hard to be what you think the other person wants, you tend to chase them. So you're chasing their idea of perfection or whatever. But when you chase something, it means the thing that you're chasing is running away from you, no? Because otherwise it wouldn't be called chasing. It would be pursuing. No, pursuing is the same thing. What is that? If something's standing still and you're going towards it, I guess you're guiding yourself towards it. I don't know. But the point is, if you're chasing something, chances are the thing, your object that you're chasing is moving away from you. But why would you want to go towards something that's moving away from you? It takes a lot of effort. It's very self-defeating. It feels kind of crappy at the end of the day, because usually when you're chasing something, right? If it's a boy or a girl or a job or whatever, if you're chasing it and it keeps eluding you, it means that you're not going after the right things. They say that whatever you desire desires you, right? There is this idea in quantum theory or The Secret or manifestation, all of those things, the law of attraction, that your desires desire you as well. So if my desires desire me and I'm chasing something that's running away from me, obviously that ain't for me. That's not actually something that I'm desiring. Because in the process of chasing something, you're trying to change all of who you are. If you are being yourself, if you are focusing on your own self-development, your own goals and dreams, you're putting in work for your legacy, you don't have time to chase. You have time to think about what it is that you need to go to that place right there and do it. If you're working on you, you don't have time to worry about what other people want and what other people need and what other people are telling you are perfection or whatever, because you're working on yours. You're working on your own definition. And that's something that I've realized as well. There have been so many times in my life where I was like, oh my God, crush on this guy, crush on that guy. I need to be this way for them to notice me. I need to be cooler or smarter or blah, blah, blah. Dumber. Oh my gosh, the amount of times I've dumbed myself down just to get someone's attention. Super annoying, but I've done it. Yeah. But it didn't get me very far. And push come to shove, when I got what I was looking for, I realized it's not what I really wanted anyway, because being dumb around them and then them making me feel dumb on top of that, yeah, didn't suit me very well, because they weren't on my level in the first place. So what do I have to do? I have to stop chasing and I have to start attracting instead. And that's part of what I want to talk to you about today, because there have been so many instances when I wasn't chasing somebody, when I didn't have my eye on somebody, where I wasn't trying to get someone's attention, and I was nose to the grindstone, really dealing with my own stuff, really building for myself based on what I like and what I think is beautiful. And people would gravitate towards me. Not necessarily people that I, was attracted to, but people would gravitate towards me. And I know if I had just waited a little bit longer, I would find somebody that I was attracted to who was gravitating towards me in the first place. So, why chase when you could attract? But it's not as easy as all that. I had to realize that there was a lot of my ego that I had to let go of. There was this idea that was put into me by somebody else that I had to be tall enough, I had to be smart enough, I had to have this many degrees, I had to have this much of a paycheck, I had to have this level of success or this many years of experience. And that was something I had to deal with on my own when I was pursuing entrepreneurship. And I say pursuing because it was hard. I had to let go of a lot of things that I thought were me that weren't. And I had to let go of a lot of ideas that I thought were great that weren't. And it wasn't until I tried executing on the idea that I realized it didn't suit me. A lot of people would come to my page and be like, oh my gosh, you need to have a color pattern, you have to have a theme, you have to have this, that, branding, all that. Yeah, cool. All right, I get you. And I did that. I tried. But I got fed up and I got bored and irritated because I don't like being pinned down to any one thing. I'm a super Pisces, you guys. Not to say I'm Pisces, but I'm Pisces. I'm very Pisces, meaning to say that my mood changes. And when my mood changes, my content needs to change as well. I need to have that freedom to be able to do what I want. So eventually I did find a theme that worked. That meant that I was kind of curating a visually pleasing feed at the same time that I left enough room open for me to be able to change my mind or do something different. Now, that was never more so apparent as when I just recently tried to change my feed, change the way that I designed my images, change the way that I was writing my captions, and I put everything on pause because I just couldn't get it together and I wasn't quite happy with what I was doing. But it wasn't until those moments where I had a chance to change and change for myself that I became more pleased and more proud and more excited, and more excited is the key word here. Excited about my job. I was excited about what it was I was trying to do in the world. But then, of course, you always get these comments, these sideways comments that say, hey, you know what? I don't like this. And hey, I don't think this makes sense. And hey, I don't, think it's going to get you the kind of likes that you need to get. You need to show some skin. You need to do this. You need to do that. Okay, that's great. And maybe it works for the OnlyFans accounts, but guess what? It doesn't work for me. That's not who I am. That's not to say that I don't own my sexuality. I do. But that's not what I want people to know me for. It's a rabbit hole to be able to show some skin, and suddenly you get the likes that you want, and suddenly you're thinking, okay, if I go back to posting regular stuff, I'm not going to get the same amount of likes. How am I supposed to grow? So I've stayed away from that on purpose because I am more than my features. My skin will fade. My face will droop at some point. Everything will be saggy and baggy and just at some point. And even then, I need you guys to hear what I'm saying. Even then, more so then, I need you guys to want to hear what I have to say. Because it's what's inside that really, really matters to me. I want you to know who I am and how I think, and that I do believe that peace is possible. And I do believe that love is possible. I know that all these beautiful, hopeful things are possible because I had to conquer my darkness to get there. I had to face all of my demons to get there. And so I know full well that if I start chasing anything, I'm going to be chasing the rest of my life. It's the same way, like if you did something wrong and you're running away from the punishment, right? If you run now, you can be running the rest of your life. Because guess what? At some point, someone's going to notice your face and notice, your name pop up. I could jump countries every chance I get if I wanted to. But I'm going to face the same problems, the same life lessons, different shape, different form, in a different country until I learn my damn lesson. I need to be important to me. There is something called dignity and integrity. I got to do what I say I'm going to do, no matter what I feel like, my integrity. I have to feel good about the things that I'm doing, no matter what I do, and that is my dignity. Now, if I lay my morals down by the riverside and try to get someone's attention just because I think it would make me feel good in the moment, guess what? There will be a time when that moment has passed and I will need to chase again. It's almost like an addiction. I need to get another fix, right? You drink coffee, you feel good for a little while, it gives it, y'all say it's an upper, I'll take your word for it. Drink coffee, you feel good, you've got a little bit of energy or whatever, kickstarts your morning, great. Guess what? At some point, it's going to run out. As all things do, it runs out. So then what do? Get another cup of coffee, drink your mid-afternoon, soda because it has caffeine in it, eat candy because you need a sugar rush. What do? But is that sustainable? I don't want to be chasing anything the rest of my life. I want to be able to be myself. I don't want to chase a paycheck. It's the reason I started my own job, because I want to be paid to be me, because I think I have something of value to give. And guess what? I'm doing it. It's not great. It's not $1 million business yet, but it has that potential. As long as I don't let anyone else sideswipe my ideas, right? Or T-bone any of my plans or strategies, I know I can get there because it's coming from my gut. It's coming from my intuition. So you guys, if you're out there chasing someone's attention, guess what? They're moving away from you for a reason. Maybe you're not their cup of tea, and that's okay. That just means that there's someone else out there that is. And they may be your shot of whiskey. You know what I mean? It may be somebody who's more suited to you, because then you don't have to try so hard to get someone's affection. You can actually just be yourself, and that would be enough. They would appreciate the hell out of that, because maybe they've been through a couple storms their damn selves, and they appreciate kindness when they see it. There are some people out there. I know someone who's been through cancer, and they fought and they won and they've come out and they survived, y'all, right? They survived this thing that was supposed to kill them. They survived. But you know what? They're the most bitter person I've ever met in my life. And it doesn't make sense for why, but they are so bitter. They're not happy. They're angry. How dare? And then I've noticed people who they've been homeless. They've had their family turn their back on them. They clawed and fought their way to the top. And you know what now? They give back every chance they get, because they know what it's like to suffer, and they don't want to see anyone around them suffering. They do their best. Cece of the Six Figure Chick, she became a millionaire while fighting cancer. And she was so grateful, and she was so gracious, and she was so happy to give back every time she had a chance. When she got to a certain point in her career where she was making like a lot of money, she made sure she gave out scholarships, and she gave people the chance and the benefit of the doubt. She told all of her trade secrets. Why? Because she also knows that when you teach people, there is a big majority of them that are going to be like, oh yeah, okay, I sat through that and that was great and everything. And they move on to the next thing. And there's a very, very small minority of people who are going to take her advice to heart and actually do something about it. And even then, what she tells you to do may not be a perfect fit for who you actually are, but you know what? You got to start somewhere. You got to try something. And so she's so grateful. I know somebody who has faced death on multiple occasions. They've been suicidal because they don't feel like they have anything to live for, and they feel like the whole world turned on them, and they felt like no one was ever there for them. And because they've been through that, they do recognize pain in other people. But it's also in temporary people. They don't recognize love or compassion in people who are constant, because they don't see them. They're not looking for that. It doesn't register because that's not what they're looking for. And that's going to be a whole nother podcast episode, because yeah, you get what you're looking for. But seriously, don't chase. Chasing means you have to adjust yourself to get the other person's attention, or to get the unattainable. Chasing means that if it's eluding you, it's not a good fit for who you are at the core. Look, take it from me. I've been in 2 really long relationships, half my life gone with these 2 relationships, 16 years to be exact. And in both of them, I tried my best to be everything I thought they wanted me to be. I changed the way I dressed. I changed the way I did makeup. I changed my hair. I changed the way I spoke, the way I cooked, the way I walked. I dumbed myself down so they would not feel insecure about who they were and how I was around them. I stopped singing for one because they thought that my voice was too deep and I sounded like a man. I was so embarrassed. But at the end of the day, it was too much of a charade for me to keep. I couldn't keep being that person that wasn't who I actually was. And as much as I lost who I was, I couldn't be who I was trying to be. It was too much effort, too much energy. So this is why I'm telling you, try your best to attract. Be yourself. Take pride in who you are. There are plenty of people out there telling you you're not good enough. Why not find reasons for why you think you're good enough? Why not find reasons for why you think you're beautiful, or you think you're intelligent or a genius? Everyone is a genius in something or the other. Find what you're a genius at. Find what you could sit for hours and do without anyone prompting you or reminding you to get to work. Find that. Chase your curiosity, find your passion. Because when you are who you are in every aspect of your life, you will attract people who actually like that. who actually like that about you, who want to be like you, who want to be around you because you feel safe to them, you feel calming to them. It's what I fought my entire life for, to be myself. So I hope this makes sense, you guys. I hope this gives you another excuse to just be yourself, because you are enough. God made you exactly the way you are for a reason. You have something to complete on this earth. You have a purpose to fulfill. But it's with the skills that you were given in the first place. Now, there are going to be some skills you have to pick up along the way. But if you're going to pick up a skill, pick it up because you want it, not because someone says you need it, so then they'll be happy with who you are. Your happiness comes from inside of you. Don't you ever forget that. I'll catch you again soon. Bye.